All right, so for this video, I wanted to go over a recent report that was released by the Treasury Inspector General for tax admin, right? So this department basically investigates a lot of IRS misconduct and malfeasance, just kind of keeps them honest. The full report is available on their website. It's a nice long 50-page PDF document from the Treasury Inspector. Now, obviously, nobody wants to read this full report because it's 50 pages. But this article produced by Journal of Accountancy was pretty good. And so what they were doing here is they were trying to track the IRS's handling of issuing the stimulus checks, right? So the economic impact payments. Now, remember, there were 3 rounds of stimulus checks. So we had EIP1, 2, and 3. The third one was the last one. That was the $1,400 check that was supposed to be sent to the taxpayers. This report is only addressing the administration's handling of EIP1 and 2. So this report, the data sampling that they were doing was through basically May 2021, right? So last year. So for those of you that are trying to figure out, how well the IRS administered that third stimulus check, we don't have that data yet. Hopefully they do a study on that as well so we can get some clarity, because I know there are a lot of people that never got that $1,400 third stimulus check, and they tried to reclaim it again on their 1040 for 2021, and the IRS still disallowed it. But very interesting data here, and a lot of it, frankly, is quite troubling. So the first headline you can see right here is the IRS claims, according to the data that was provided, that 99.3% of the time they got the stimulus checks right. So they only issued checks to people that were eligible. They didn't deny claims for people that were eligible. They got that right 99.3% of the time. Now, I think the third round of stimulus checks is a different story. I heard more people have issues with round 3 EIP payments than rounds 1 and 2. So also, as it highlights here, even if that is right, 0.7% error rate means that hundreds of millions of dollars were sent out to taxpayers that shouldn't have gotten the money. So what they highlight here is that a lot of taxpayers that are non-residents, so these are persons that were just temporarily in the U.S., but they still have a Social Security number, right? So they left the country, they're no longer a U.S. resident. They got a check when they shouldn't have. What they also highlight is that a lot of people basically doubled up on checks. So you had individuals that were claimed as a dependent, so a check went to their parents, but then they also got a check, right? Not supposed to happen, right? If you're claimed as a dependent, you get 1 check per person. That dependency claim goes to the parent, not you. So here we go. So as the TIGTA noted, 26 million tax returns claimed the recovery rebate credits for 2020, totaling $39 billion. Right, so now both portions were paid in advance. Okay, so a lot of money went out here. First round of EIPs was issued to nearly 162 million individuals. Second to 146, combined total amount of 413 billion. Now this is where the data gets a little troubling, right? So although the recovery rebate error rate was low, they found that more than 55,000 individuals received a recovery rebate credit totaling 603 million when they shouldn't have gotten it, right? So some of these ineligible claimants were non-resident aliens, or again, it was claims that were being doubled up. So, there goes another 600 million. That's kind of unaccounted for. Now, okay, so 181,000 returns. IRS miscalculated the recovery rebate amount, including 117,000 recovery rebate credits were 218 million more than the taxpayers were entitled to. All right, so what's unfortunate here is what we're learning from this is that the IRS sent out money to people that already got it, or they weren't supposed to get it from the beginning. And then we know from experience that there are a lot of individuals that were supposed to get money and didn't get anything. So very, very unfortunate to see this. Now, what's also interesting is that the IRS has basically stated that, well, because the error rate was low, we're really not going to do a lot about it. So if we look at the actual report, where they talk about some suggestions, right? So the TIGTA recommended the IRS implement certain programs to try to fix these errors, but the IRS only agreed with a portion, right? So they made 22 recommendations, taking action to correct erroneous payments sent out, right, and so on and so forth. The IRS agreed with 8 of the 22. So the IRS did not agree to review erroneous payments totaling nearly $600 million that were paid to ineligible individuals. In other words, the IRS's position is the money's gone, so we're not going to do anything about it. I'm sure that makes the taxpayers really happy, right? So they're not going to conduct analysis to identify and recover erroneous payments issued after May 27, 2021. Okay, so partly the IRS did not agree to take actions to ensure that the 10 million potentially eligible individuals receive the recovery rebate credit. So this will really upset you. If you're somebody that's still waiting for your check and you were supposed to get it, if you're one of these 10 million potentially eligible people, the IRS isn't going to review this on their own accord. You have got to chase them down to figure out how do you get your money out of them. Yeah. Not good news for many taxpayers. Now, so the report, again, is 50 pages. I admittedly didn't read the whole thing. I scanned through some of the sections that I thought were really important and relevant. But the message here is, if you're waiting on your economic impact payment 1 or 2, the IRS is not going to bend over backwards to help you get your money. You've got to be more proactive in trying to get the money out of them, because by their own admission, right, they were recommended 22 steps to kind of correct these errors, and they're going to implement 8 of them. And the ones that they're not going to implement are trying to get money back from people they gave money to that they shouldn't have, nor are they going to take overt actions to try to figure out who should have gotten money and then help them get their check. So again, if you are a taxpayer that was supposed to get an economic impact payment 1 or 2, you tried to claim the recovery rebate credit on your tax return and it was denied, you need to be more proactive in trying to get this money back from the IRS, because they are not going to do anything to help you. Right, so there's the total amount of advance payments, right? It just talks a little more history about how you're supposed to claim the credit, right? And remember that line item, yeah, that was special. Okay, yeah, so that covers it for this video. I just try to keep everybody updated as to what's going on in the IRS and what kind of efforts they're actually making to help taxpayers here. And I think the short answer is they're not doing much, but that's just my opinion. So. All right, thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. Again, I'll put the links to these articles below. Give them a read if you're interested, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next video.